Why is everyone suddenly going crazy over this watch? Seriously, how did an AP times Swatch collaboration become one of the biggest conversations in the watch world almost overnight? Because suddenly, this watch was everywhere. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, watch pages, luxury pages. Even people who normally don't care about watches started talking about it. And honestly, that's what makes this release so fascinating, because this isn't just about a watch anymore. This is about hype, luxury culture, internet culture, branding, and the direction the modern watch industry is moving toward. So in this video, we're going to break down exactly why the AP Times Swatch collaboration exploded online, why everybody suddenly became obsessed with it, and whether this is actually good for the watch industry in the long run. Now, first, we need to understand why the AP name itself carries so much power. Because Audemars Piguet is not just another watch brand. This is one of the most respected names in luxury watchmaking, a brand associated with wealth, exclusivity, craftsmanship, and status. And of course, the Royal Oak, probably one of the most influential luxury sports watches ever created. The integrated bracelet design, the octagonal bezel, the bold, sporty luxury aesthetic. That watch changed the industry forever. And honestly, the influence of the Royal Oak is everywhere today. You can literally see traces of its DNA across modern watch design. So naturally, whenever AP is attached to anything, people immediately pay attention, especially online. But then comes the second half of the collaboration, Swatch. And this is where things become very interesting, because Swatch already understands modern hype culture extremely well. They already saw what happened with the Moon Swatch collaboration with Omega, and honestly, that release completely changed the watch industry conversation online. Suddenly, people who never cared about watches before were standing in long lines outside stores. Videos started going viral, resale prices exploded, social media went crazy, and I think after seeing that success, Swatch realized something extremely important. People love the feeling of touching luxury culture, even if it's only partially luxury. That emotional feeling matters more than people realize. Because realistically, most people will probably never own a real Royal Oak. Let's be honest. The prices are insane. The exclusivity is insane. The waiting lists are insane. For most people, it's simply unrealistic. But collaborations like this create a psychological shortcut. Suddenly, people feel emotionally connected to a luxury brand they normally could never access. And honestly, that's the genius behind these collaborations. They don't just sell a watch, they sell participation. Participation in luxury culture, participation in hype culture, participation in status culture. And this is exactly why the internet reacted so aggressively to this release. Because the moment people saw AP times Swatch together, the watch immediately became bigger than the product itself. It became an event. Everybody suddenly had an opinion. Some people loved it immediately. Others hated it immediately. Some collectors thought it was exciting and fresh. Others thought it cheapened the AP image. But regardless of the opinion, everybody was talking about it. And honestly, that's how modern hype works. Attention itself becomes the fuel. Because once social media grabs onto something, momentum takes over extremely fast. One viral TikTok becomes 10. One Instagram post becomes hundreds. One YouTube discussion becomes thousands of comments. And suddenly, even people who weren't interested at first start becoming curious. That's the psychological effect of repeated exposure. The more people see something, the more important it starts feeling culturally. And honestly, this is where modern watches become very different from old school watch collecting. Years ago, the conversation was more focused on craftsmanship, movement quality, finishing, heritage, and engineering. But today, attention plays a massive role. Virality plays a massive role. Branding plays a massive role. Because once a watch starts dominating online conversation, it automatically becomes more desirable. And to be fair, that doesn't necessarily mean the watch itself is bad. That's important to understand. Some collaborations genuinely help the watch industry. They bring younger people into watch culture. They make watches feel exciting again. They create conversations outside traditional collectors. And honestly, the watch industry probably enjoys seeing this level of energy because very few modern releases create this much global attention anymore. But at the same time, this release also exposes something deeper about modern luxury culture because before most people even understood the specifications of the watch, the hype had already exploded. Think about that for a second. Before the movement discussion, before the craftsmanship discussion, before the quality discussion, the internet had already decided the watch was important. And honestly, that says a lot about the direction the industry is moving. Because today, branding itself has become part of the product. The logo matters emotionally. The association matters emotionally. The visibility matters emotionally. And sometimes that emotional value becomes stronger than the watch itself. And maybe the biggest proof of that is this simple question. If this exact same watch released without the AP name attached to it, would people still care this much? Would the internet still explode? Would watch pages still obsess over it? Would people still line up? Probably not. And honestly, that tells you everything you need to know about modern hype culture. Because at the end of the day, this collaboration perfectly represents where the watch industry is today. Luxury brands want wider cultural attention. Consumers want access to luxury identity. Social media wants viral moments, and collaborations like this combine all three together perfectly. So, why is everyone suddenly going crazy over this watch? Honestly, because this release is no longer just about the watch itself. It represents luxury, hype, status, internet culture, accessibility, exclusivity, all combined into one product. And whether people love it or hate it, one thing is undeniable. The AP times Swatch collaboration became impossible to ignore. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to Pure Luxury for more conversations about watches, luxury culture, hype, and modern watchmaking. And let me know in the comments, would you actually buy the AP times Swatch collaboration? Or do you think collaborations like this are slowly changing the watch industry in the wrong direction? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.